If you're new here, my name is Patrice Roberts and I'm a 24-year-old chef. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make authentic Caribbean sweet potato pudding. If you're looking for the flavors of the sweet potato pudding your granny used to make, then you came to the right place. I'm going to be showing you this simple recipe. Everything you'll be needing will be down in the description box below. So let's get into it, guys. For the ingredients, we are going to be using 1.5 pound of sweet potato. This is the weight after peeled. Half pound of yam as well. We're going to be using the Caribbean sweet potato because the American sweet potato has a lot of water, which we do not want in this recipe. We also have 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, half teaspoon of allspice. This is optional. 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, half teaspoon of powdered nutmeg as well, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to balance the flavor a bit. We also have 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence, 2.5 cups of coconut milk. Fresh milk is always better, but if you do not have fresh coconut milk, then you can definitely get the canned one. 1 teaspoon of browning for a little bit of color. A 1/3 cup of grated coconut. You can add more if you like more coconut flavor in your pudding, but this works well. And a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Let's get to peeling the sweet potato. I'm using a vegetable peeler for this because you get a lot more of your sweet potato rather than using a knife. We're going to grate this on the smallest side of your grater, not the bigger sides because we want the texture to be really small and fine. Quick note, you could actually use a food processor for this, but it's up to you. If you want to make your sweet potato pudding the authentic way, then we are using a grater. But the food processor works well as well, and it saves a lot of time. Sometimes this is what I use, but today I'm just showing you the authentic way. So we are going to be grating our sweet potato. And then we're going to grate the yam. If you find that your sweet potato after grated is a bit brown, this just means it have oxidized. There's nothing to be afraid about or scared. This is perfectly fine. After you mix everything together, you'll get the same results and the same taste. The yam is what is going to bind this mixture together. This consistency is what you want, just like when you'd be using an egg in a mixture. So this is going to hold everything together. But if you do not want to use any yam or you do not have any on hand, you could just use a bit more of the flour to get that consistency that you need. But today we are going to be using yam. We are then going to start mixing in the ingredients. I'm adding the shredded coconut right now. Again, you could use more coconut if you like more of a coconut flavor, but this is all I'm using today. Then we're going to add in the melted butter. I'm mixing everything one at a time because I want to make sure everything is properly incorporated. And then after adding in the butter and mixing, we're going to make our custard for the top. For the custard, we are going to be mixing the coconut milk with the browning, essence, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice with the brown sugar as well and the salt to balance everything off. Make sure you mix this very well because we want everything to incorporate nicely. We're going to be adding 3/4 of this mixture to the sweet potato batter, and then we're going to save a 1/4 for the custard top, which gives you that nice moist texture on top of sweet potato pudding that we all love. So ensure that you save some of this. We're adding the flour to the sweet potato and then we're mixing that properly before we add in the wet ingredients to this because we do not want flour clumps inside of the batter. We want to make sure that everything is mixed properly. We're then going to add 3/4 of this coconut custard mixture, mix properly, and then we're going to add it to our Pyrex dish. You could also use a 9-inch baking pan to bake this, but today I'm using a 9x12 baking dish to bake this. So I'm setting it into my greased Pyrex dish and then I'm going to bake it for 50 minutes at 250 degrees. We want this temperature to be a bit low, not too high, because we want the custard to cook properly inside. After 15 minutes, we're going to remove it and add the remainder of the 1/4 coconut custard on top. And then we're going to set it to bake for another 20 to 30 minutes until your pudding is set. If you like what you see so far, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have videos coming out every week for you to enjoy. And I appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribes so far. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.